What's going on, guys? Box here, and welcome to another episode of our F1 2021 career mode. And today we're going to be heading into the next round, which will be the Dutch Grand Prix, and it will be the halfway point in this season. You can see round number 8, and we've had some pretty good results, with our best performance being 5th, where we got that at Austria, and also last time out at Spa. Look how much we've closed the gap down now. We're right behind Aston Martin, who've actually been struggling a little bit. And McLaren jumping up to 3rd, just ahead of Ferrari, but Ferrari are sticking with them. Now, I've got some R&D points to spend, and I need to think carefully about what I want to, where I want to put these points. We're at a crucial stage, really. We've got some major development we can do. As you can see, the aero department, we're right in the mid-pack. In terms of the chassis, here we go, some upgrades completed. In terms of the chassis, we are about the mid-pack, and then in terms of the powertrain, we've had a couple of upgrades which, I think might have pushed us right up near the top. So, finally we're almost getting where we want to be, really. What do I want to do? Do I want to do another upgrade on the powertrain? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to go for some development on the aero. So we've got rear downforce or front downforce. Let's go for a bit more front downforce. We'll just go for the standard development, so it's not going to come for a little while, but in time for Singapore that'll probably help. 700 points, it's not enough to do anything with, really. If we just take a look at the vehicle, the power unit, you see we might need to replace some parts, but it should be alright, actually. The IC probably need replacing after this round. Gearbox should be fine. We replaced that not long ago, and our rivalry is going okay. It's going okay. So, championship wise, 36 points, P8, just behind Charles Leclerc. Maybe we can jump Ferrari. Come on, we just need Alonso to, just help us out a little bit. I mean, he's got a really good rating, hasn't he? But his focus is down a bit there. I don't think I've got anything to spend perks wise. Our contract will expire in 7 days though, so we've got some negotiating to do, but let's plow on.
Welcome along then to the North Sea coast and ZANDVOORT, 25 miles away from Amsterdam, and the host for today's Dutch Grand Prix. It's a race the great Jim Clark won on 4 occasions, leading for an astonishing total of 370 laps. A lap of this short 2.6 mile ZANDVOORT circuit features 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left. The main straight is 678 metres long and heads into turn 1, the Tarzan corner. With DRS down the main straight into the braking zone, that could be the best overtaking opportunity on the track. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Why don't we discuss McLaren? What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And P2 goes to Daniel Ricciardo, a strong showing from the Australian. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Bottas, Lando Norris and Leclerc, Perez, Vettel, Fernando Alonso and Pierre Gasly, Stroll, Ace, Yuki Tsunoda and Raikkonen, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, Carlos Sainz and Antonio Giovinazzi, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Okay then, so we haven't had the best of qualifying, so we're in P12, which means we can start on the reverse strategy, which is what the team have defaulted us to. So I'm going to go for it. We're going to start on the mediums, then we'll switch to the softs. Hopefully that'll give us some good late race pace. But Fernando Alonso's there, P9. He's of course going to be on the soft tyre, so let's see what we can do then as the lights go out. The initial reaction isn't too great, and we get mugged at the start. Oh, Okay, so we've got some wear.
We'll start to see a loss of power.
Being beaten up at the start here. This is probably our worst start to a Grand Prix this season. Especially with our recent form, which has been very good actually. So Kimi's getting quite racy behind us. And Max Verstappen leads his home Grand Prix by the looks of things. We've used all of our deployment on that lap just to try and pull away from Kimi Raikkonen, who was really piling on the pressure towards the end of lap number 1. So tucked in behind Tsunoda, we may struggle at this point in the race to make some overtakes. I mean, look, we are on the medium tyres, so we just need to stick with this AlphaTauri for now. Stay in the DRS zone, just tow us along, and then towards the end of the soft runners stint, we may close down the gap a little bit. So, first time round DRS is open, we pick it up, which is nice, but it looks like Alonso as he runs so deep into turn 1. Alonso pulling away. We've got to bear in mind though, they are on the soft tyres, and the soft tyres will be a lot quicker than these medium ones at the moment, but I think Tsunoda might start to hold us up a little bit. We've got a fast Ferrari of Sainz behind Raikkonen behind as well, so if we can stick with Tsunoda, we may be able to go for an overtake. Here we go then. Good run out the final corner. Using a lot of overtake mode. Can we do something up the inside on Tsunoda into turn number 1? We can indeed. Look at that. Brilliant move there. I would take that. So we've got the overtake done on Tsunoda. I thought we were going to struggle because we've got quite a lot of downforce. So straight line speed isn't the best. But it's not over yet because Tsunoda's right with us still. Let's keep on pushing. 2.7 is the gap to Stroll. Let's see if we can close the gap down as his soft tyres start to go off a little bit. So Verstappen's pitted from the lead. He is just ahead of us, and we've been dropping back at a rate of knots to Lance Stroll. So struggling in the middle and last sector in our Alpine. Fernando Alonso seems to be making it work a little bit better. But through here, Tsunoda just closes up so much through these corners. I'm going to take 2 knocks off the front wing. I think I've got too much front downforce. I'm running 10 front wings. I'm going to reduce it to 8 at the pit stop. We'll put on some soft tyres and hopefully we can go for a bit of a charge towards the end. So Fernando's in the pits, Stroll's in the pits as well, and our engineer's going to bring us into the pits at the end of this lap, which will leave us with 7 laps on the soft tyres. There's Perez just coming out of the pits. Let's put in a decent in lap if we can. Bit far off for some DRS from the Red Bull driver ahead. I doubt we'll close him down, but let's go, let's push. Here we go then, plow it in the pits. On lap number 10, 7, well no, it's like 7 laps to go, 8 laps to go. Someone else has just come in. Oh, don't get held up here, come on, come on. Yes, thank goodness for that. 3-second pit stop got us out ahead of the 2 Hasses before they came in and held us up. Right then, let's go. The gap to Stroll, about 7 seconds. Our teammate has 1 point in P10, so Alpine definitely struggling. We know from the start of this episode that our downforce and chassis aren't the best, about the mid-pack, if not worse. Here's a weird thing I've just noticed. Alonso is out on the hard tyres. I don't know why Alpine would do that, but that's not going to put him under pressure really, because Stroll's going to be all over the back of him on the mediums. So we're closing down Stroll a little bit, probably about half a second on that lap, but 6.6 seconds up the road, 6.7 seconds up the road. It's going to be tough to catch him. So look at this, the turbocharger 61%, MGUH 58%. So we're going to need some replacement parts at some point. Whether I just take a penalty and replace the whole engine again, but it's these quick practice sessions that really takes it out of the engine. Codemaster should probably sort that out a little bit. But yeah, we'll probably end up replacing them at a round where we're probably going to struggle, so we'll take a tactical penalty somewhere. So we were catching Stroll quite a lot. The gap's down to 5.4. We've closed him down a bit, but being the soft tyres, we've sort of worn through them. Look at the fronts now, 29%, 25%. Setting a personal best in the first sector, but as the fuel starts to wear off, we can expect that. But the tyre performance, front tyres have had it. We're starting to understeer a little bit, especially through that corner. This middle sector, it's really hard on the front tyres. But I need to watch out for Carlos Sainz. 2.9 seconds behind. He's been closing down for the last few laps. So we've lost a little bit of time in that middle sector. So we're on the final lap and Carlos Sainz has caught up to us. I knew this was going to happen. We should be alright, but he's closing down and his Ferrari's quite quick at the minute. It's got more downforce than ours. Look at that through there. He closed down even though he set a personal best. Those yellow flags may help us out. I don't know what happened then. Let's take a look at the replay. It looked like Carlos Sainz, for whatever reason, just, don't know, did he make a mistake or something? There were yellow flags. He ran out wide in the dirty air. Or has he got an engine failure? I don't think so. So then Max Verstappen takes the win. He got the fastest lap, then Perez stole the fastest lap off of him. So Red Bull's very quick around here. You'd expect that high downforce track, but P12.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
A difficult race then on a circuit that demands complete concentration, but they've persevered to take the win here today. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
So then a pretty average race, no points, picked up 1 point for Alpine and Fernando Alonso, which means we probably lose touch a little bit with Charles Leclerc ahead. Carlos Sainz, he finished behind us, he hasn't closed the gap down on us, so we're still pretty comfortable in P8. The McLarens now, they're really putting in some solid performances, as you saw. Picked up a second place here today, so they're going to be charging up the constructors. So P7 is probably the best we can get if we can beat Charles Leclerc, but in terms at the top, it's pretty tight. It's Hamilton, then Verstappen, then Bottas is there. Perez trailing a little bit, so the Red Bull's looking strong, but they are still trailing Mercedes by 40 points, so it's all very tight at the top. So then that has been it for today's episode here at the Dutch Grand Prix. We're halfway through the season now, 8 races to go. Next time out, we'll be getting into some contract renewals, more R&D development, and then the second half of the season we need to think about what we want to do. Do we want to stay with Alpine, or do we want to try and push up the grid for a better team? Well, we'll wait and see. Let me know what you want me to do in the comments, but as always, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.